It kept happening. I'd set out to learn a new programming topic and I'd get caught up in the details, all the details. Learning something new took forever. At first, I thought my lengthy learning process was because the topic was hard or I was a slow learner, but I soon realized the real problem. As I zone in on the details, I lose sight of the core topic I set out to learn in the first place. That's why getting the big picture is an essential first step when learning something new. Getting the big picture means to get a general understanding of the topic by identifying the core concepts before you start learning the material itself. Doing so will make your learning process efficient. In this video, I'll explain what it means to get the big picture and how you can apply this tactic to any topic you're learning. Let's get started. If you're joining me for the first time, then welcome. I'm Amy, and on this channel I talk about learning, programming, and skill building. Let's dive into it. Say you're going to put together a 1,000-piece puzzle, but before you begin, you take a good look at the puzzle box because it contains an image of what the puzzle looks like when complete. You mentally note its major features: a bridge, several skyscrapers, a river, and a sky at sunset. You've just made solving the puzzle much easier because you have the big picture, a high-level view of your task and what to focus on. Now, instead of dealing with 1,000 random pieces, your mind is primed to think about the major components that you'll have to put together. When you get the big picture, you move from disorder to order, from complex to simple, from difficult to manageable. As a result, you work with purpose because you know what to focus on. And this is exactly why getting the big picture is essential when it comes to learning new things. You know what to focus on. Now, typically, when learning new topics, people dive into the details, all the details, from the start, as I used to do, and this is a big mistake. They sink a ton of time and effort to learn everything, only to realize after the fact they only need a fraction of what they learned. And it's not to say that the details don't matter. They do, but, and this is the important point, you don't need to know everything right now. Besides, the fine details, if you need them, will be far more meaningful once you understand the core concepts of whatever you're trying to learn about. And this is why getting the big picture comes first when learning new things. Identify what topics matter most right now, realizing full well that you can circle back on a topic and pick up on some nuance in the future if you need to. Now let's talk about a few concrete ways you can get the big picture. First, talk to a few people who already have learned the thing you're trying to learn. Here's what I mean. Identify 1 to 3 people who've already learned the material you're trying to learn. Then contact them and ask them if they'd be willing to talk to you about their learning experience. Now, most people love talking about their experiences and will be more than happy to speak with you or to share a few emails back and forth. Finally, have a few specific questions at your ready when you do contact these people. For example, what concepts did you focus on? How did you determine your learning sequence? And what would you do differently if you were to start all over again? Now here's a tip. I do recommend talking to multiple people because you will see patterns in the answers you receive. Then use this information to inform your own learning journey. Second, watch a lecture on fast speed. You'll miss the fine details, and that's okay. You're not trying to get the fine details right now. Instead, identify the core concepts being discussed. Decide then if these concepts are relevant to the overall subject that you're trying to learn. Oftentimes, an instructor will spend a lot of time on important concepts, or they'll repeat concepts multiple times. Take note when these things happen. They might be components to add to your big picture. Third, read the chapter summary in a book. The end of a chapter in a book often contains a section that summarizes key points. Read this first. Understand the main ideas that are being discussed, and if an idea seems important, then skim the relevant section in the book or in that chapter. Getting the big picture is like a filter. It'll help you distinguish between the nice to know from the have to know. Put another way, it'll help you focus on the right things at the right time. That's it for today, but before I go, I'd like to hear from you. So please leave a comment at the end of this video and let me know about your learning journey. And if you want to hear more about learning, programming, and skill building, then please hit that subscribe button and the bell icon right now. Thank you so much for watching and make it an effective day.